everyone, and welcome to our first episode of Have a Nice Day Show with your host, Janine.
And her co-host, Joshua. The energy is good in that?
The energy is better now.
Because, guys, we actually started off and then halfway, Janine was like, you know what? I don't like the energy. I'm like, okay, let's start again from the top. And
that was like our third recording of mistakes.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know, Janine is a perfectionist, so we have to do this. And
I am not.
Most perfect, is that a word? Most perfect?
I
Are
think
those
so.
two words that go together?
Yeah.
In the perfectest way possible.
That is a word, definitely. Perfectest. Perfectest.
Okay, we can find out later. Or guys, comment if you don't think that's a word.
It definitely isn't a word. But we're here for this episode to discuss why did we name our podcast Have a Nice Day?
Yeah, and just like every pilot episode of any TV show or anything that is premiered, we should give you a brief background as to who we are, why we're doing this, and what you guys can expect.
We'll try to keep it brief because
I know everyone's attention span is growing shorter and shorter day by day. I'm pretty sure people have already stopped listening to us.
Yeah. I think we've already lost a lot of our audience members.
Let's live stream it one day and see who else is sticking around
drop
other than our moms.
by the 10th second. Okay, this is not interesting. Let's leave.
Let's say goodbye to these fools. These guys who don't know anything that they're doing. But
we actually don't, to be honest. We're not qualified to, give out advice. We're not qualified to do this podcast. But here we are because, you know what?
We're bored.
YOLO. I was going to say something more.
She's like, YOLO, guys. We only live once. Make most of our time. And I'm like, I have nothing else to do on a Friday.
Well, thank you for spending your Friday with me, okay?
Well, it is my pleasure.
I feel so honored.
It is my pleasure.
But we started the name Have a Nice Day because you actually thought about Have a Nice Day, right?
I did, and I thought
because you're smart.
Very smart. Like, I've read like half a book.
Nice.
And that took me only like 5 years.
What book is this?
It's this manual on how to operate my rice cooker.
So now you can cook half a rice.
Half a rice. My mom's like, where's my portion? I'm like, sorry, Mom. Once I finish reading the book, then you can eat.
Guys, I'm sorry. This is how the podcast is going to go. Just us laughing with our nonsense jokes.
Yeah, I think, I have to find out what's the perfect space I have to keep between the microphone and my mouth as to not annoy your ears when either of us
with
laugh.
your AK-47 laugh.
I do have an ugly laugh. I do have a very ugly
You know how
laugh.
Kim K has an ugly cry? You have an ugly laugh.
Okay, and you have an ugly overall. So, okay. You want to do this? You want to roast?
Yes, we're going to roast each other. But yeah, we started Have a Nice Day. I know. We're just talking about how we started our podcast. We had a lot of names, actually. We had, what are some of the names? Because we had our friends vote on our poll, our free poll.
Yeah, only up to 40 responses.
Because we're such cheapos.
You don't want to spend $2 on Survey Monkey, guys.
So we opted for the free version and it capped us off to 40 respondents.
But that's all we need. I think we only have like 40 friends in total.
We have, no, we have more than that. Come on.
You have more than that.
Don't let them think that we have no friends.
No, I have 0 friends.
Okay, that's why you're here on a Friday.
Depression.
Yeah, let's talk about it later. You can
talk to you about that in private.
Therapy
but
session.
Where were we again?
So we gave out a free Survey Monkey survey to our friends and we listed down a couple of our choices. So we had Caught in the Middle.
We had the mixed steak.
Yeah, we had the mixed steak. I think that was the third choice. Second was Caught in the Middle. We have Half Full Show. That was the first one. That was the first one that we thought, right? Half Full Show. Because we wanted it to be a positive sounding show because,
glass half full,
glass half
empty.
full, yeah. And then we searched the podcast names and I think it's already taken if I'm not mistaken. I think there's already
by
two.
A half Filipino and a full Filipino who are based in Canada. Shout out to them.
Yeah. The reason why we wanted to incorporate the word half or middle is because we're both half and half something. So Janine, me, aka me, I'm half Filipino, half Lebanese.
And I'm Joshua, like I said previously, and I'm half Indian and half Filipino.
Yeah. So you're Indipino.
Indipino.
How do you call that? Indipino, right?
No, Pindian.
A Pindian? No, I've never heard Pindian. I've heard Indipinos.
Indipino? No, that sounds like Indonesian and Filipino.
Fine.
So
Indiapino.
Pindian sounds right.
Pindian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like something you wear at a dance. Hey, dude, give me my Pindian. I'm about to rage at this concert. I sent you to Tomorrowland, and then where's my Pindian, dude?
Hey girl, do you have my Pindian with you?
I'm going on a date at a club. Going to Barasti. But yeah, that's why we wanted to incorporate the middle or something with half, since that's something we both do share. And we're both in Dubai.
Yeah. In the middle of nowhere, basically.
Yeah, middle of nowhere in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Which is quite different from other half breeds, I think. I think usually one of them usually stays.
Yeah.
One, or if not, like, okay, but more of them do stay in one of their own home countries.
Yeah, that's true.
But we are
third culture kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we are far away from our own hometowns.
Yeah.
And but it's really cool. Both of us are raised in Dubai. Janine was
raised, not born, but raised in Dubai. So my parents were here 30 plus years ago. I guess yours are as
Mine
well.
is, but I was born here in Dubai.
Okay.
I don't have a Emirati passport.
Yeah, but unfortunately we don't get that.
Not unfortunately. I'm okay with my Philippine passport.
Yeah, I think so too.
I can get into Philippines.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Southeast Asian countries.
And apparently Brazil for 14 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually, there's a lot of countries that we can get into. Like you can also, well, not a country, but St. Petersburg in Russia. You can now...
Yeah, you can get into Russia.
Visa on arrival.
Yes.
You have Georgia. There's a lot of places. Seychelles. Zanzibar, a lot.
Okay, guys, and this is our first episode on traveling. Where you can travel with a Filipino passport.
Yeah.
But when you apply for something and they ask you, what's your citizenship? What do you put?
Filipino.
Okay, so
yeah.
you just neglect the...
Not really neglect. I love being half Lebanese and I love, my Lebanese roots. But I just associate it with my passport. Or sometimes, if it's a long line, I put Filipino/Lebanese.
Okay.
Or Lebanese/Filipino.
Because in India doesn't allow dual citizenship.
Mm-hmm.
So,
when you're in India.
So whenever I go to India, I have to apply for visa.
Oh.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Like, I literally walk in, I'm like, and I pull out a Philippine passport, and you're like, okay.
Okay, but you look.
And my dad is there, and he speaks to them in Hindi, but then at the end of the day, I still have to apply for visa.
The same for me, though. I don't have to apply for visa when I go to Lebanon, but whenever I'm with my dad, and then I whip out my Filipino passport, and they look at me and they're like, "What is happening?"
But with Philippine passport, you can go with a visa?
Yeah, because I have both. So I have my Filipino passport and then I whip out it's like an Emirates ID, but in Lebanon. So they ID. Stamp my Lebanese ID, my Hawiye. So they stamp my my Filipino passport, but then I just show them
or just for like identification or something.
But sometimes they get confused because they see my dad with a Lebanese passport and they're like, "Are you together? Is that your girlfriend?" And I'm like, no, he's my dad, okay? But yeah, because my dad looks very young for his age. And then, my mom would be on the side and I'm like, this is my mom, this is my dad, and I'm their child.
I think in cases like this, we actually do have to declare that they are parents, because even when I'm in a mall and I'm with my mom and I hold her hand and people are staring like, yo, who is this 5'8" or 9" Indian guy with this 5'1" Filipino woman? Like, this guy is like, what's going on? It really does create a lot of confusion.
Yeah, because your mom looks really young for her age as well.
She looks super young.
Both our moms do, because that's so Asian of them.
It is, yeah.
I sometimes look older than my mom.
I look older than my dad, I think.
Speaking of our parents, so they were here like ages ago, 30 plus years
they've seen
ago.
Dubai getting built from the ground up.
My mom and dad were here. I think my dad was 19 or 20 and my mom was 21 or 22. So they were really young. Imagine being in Dubai where it wasn't the metropolis it is now, and literally in the middle of the desert. Like there was nothing to do.
There was zero things to do at that time.
Yeah, but there were like bars and clubs back then.
Yeah, I think that's
where my parents met. So my mom was a waitress, and my dad is a drummer in a band.
Ooh.
And so he saw my mom. I'm not sure if it was his first day or like his first few weeks on the job, and he saw my mom, and I think he was like, that woman is gonna be my wife.
He was smitten.
And my mom was like serving people, and she's like, hey, I'm sure she didn't say hey because she had a boyfriend back then.
Oh, okay, so your dad is the third wheel? No, not third wheel. The
third
the
party.
other guy.
Yeah,
other
but he
guy.
wasn't. You know, my mom didn't. It's not like she cheated on her boyfriend back then, but they were on a long distance relationship. So her boyfriend back then, I think he was in the Philippines or something like that. And my dad introduced himself, and then they started getting to know each other. And my dad would always claim that my mom is his girlfriend, and my mom's like, "What are you talking about?
It's a very
You're
Arrow
not
thing.
my boyfriend. I have a boyfriend back home in the Philippines."
It's like you are my girlfriend
exactly. And he loved her so much, and he was very patient actually. So he waited for my mom, and he really pursued my mom.
What do you mean waiting? Like he
insistently.
waited till your mom broke up with her current boyfriend? Just like standing there in the shadows.
Just standing there. When are they gonna break up? When are they gonna break up? But yeah, he pursued my mom, and eventually, like, my mom's like, you know what, this guy, he's good, And my mom told me the reason why she finally fell in love with my dad is because she saw how he was very family oriented,
Nice.
and that's what she wanted, in a guy.
And a
she knew
partner.
that he had a partner, and she knew that he was going to be a great dad. So fast forward 3 kids later, I'm the middle child. So I have 2 siblings, a sister and a brother, and you as well.
I have an older sister and a younger brother.
Same.
But my story is very different though.
Yeah.
My parents did meet here.
Yeah.
30 plus years ago.
Mhm.
Both working at they worked at the airport. They were both at Dubai Duty Free. So my mom had this notion and this she had this concept of Indians because
Yeah.
back in Philippines all the Indians have turbans.
Yeah, Sikhs. I
All
guess,
Sikhs,
yeah.
right? So she thought that every Indian was like that. And then she came into Dubai and she saw one without a turban and she's like, "Dude, you're naked."
Dude, where's your
Dude,
turban?
I can see your forehead.
I can see your hair.
No, but yeah, my parents
Your dad was bald back then.
no, he had a nice set of hair.
There you go.
He had a beautiful set of hair.
Yeah.
And my dad was actually training my mom. My mom was working in the perfume department of Dubai
Mhm.
Duty Free.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad was a trainer. Both my parents said it was love at first sight, but I'm 100% it wasn't. I'm pretty sure my dad had to put in some work as well. And yeah,
So you're saying your dad loved your mom at first sight, but your mom didn't? Is that what you're claiming?
no, I'm saying the story is bogus. I know I don't know believe how they actually fell into love, but they
Yeah.
did date for quite a long time.
Nice.
For like 5 years.
Ooh,
5
before
years
they got
out there,
married.
yeah. And until my dad popped the question and
Nice.
asked her to be his wife.
That's so not the thing back then, though. Like, back then, it was, I don't know, dating for what, a year, 2 years, max?
Yeah, and then like
And
okay,
then you get married, right?
you're a nice person, let's get
Right?
married. Yeah.
5 years is a little bit
Yeah,
unusual,
maybe my
like-
dad got cold feet or something, or my
Yeah.
mom.
But that's really nice.
My mom is very secretive about like certain parts of their story, so
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. Maybe my dad was like a Indian spy or something.
Maybe he is.
Maybe.
Maybe he still is.
Then he's doing a really good job. But yeah, because my mom said that he was her first boyfriend ever,
Wow.
which I
okay.
do not believe.
Why don't you believe your parents?
Because my mom was a pretty woman growing
What
up.
happened to you as a child? Like, were you?
I was constantly lied to. I thought I was a girl
Who broke
for
you?
20 years. And I don't know, Janine. I really don't know what's going on. But
You're a guy, Joshua.
I'm a man?
Okay? Yes.
okay.
You're a man. You're seated here. We're doing this podcast.
Okay.
You're a good co-host.
Thank
You're
you.
the second half. Okay, let's get things straight. You're the second half.
I'm the first half.
You're the second half.
First.
Second. I started. Okay.
Okay, then I'll end
Who-
the show.
Well, then you're the second half because you ended the show.
Okay.
There you go. Fine.
So, guys, I'm first half.
So, guys, I'm the first half, and Joshua is the second half, just to set things
Fine.
straight.
Women are always correct.
This is why this whole podcast is working, because you
Yeah,
know
I
how
know,
to
I just
say
take
yes.
directions. And it's like oblige. But yeah, 30 years later, I have an older sister, younger brother. And fun fact, for everyone, I was actually conceived
Yeah.
in Hong Kong or Singapore, one of
No
them.
way.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
So that's really cool. My
That's
sister
why you
was
like
I think my
Asian
sister
food.
was a honeymoon baby, I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's neat,
Yeah.
I guess.
So your parents love traveling as well.
At back then, but now like they don't have the opportunity. Not that they don't
Yeah.
have the opportunity, but I don't think that they're they're really into it right now. But maybe when they retire, hopefully, I hope they see the world, whatever the world has to offer.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I wanted to talk about how we grew up in Dubai, really, but we didn't really grow up with the Dubai essence of being, you know, a spoiled brat, growing up in a... It's true.
Is it?
I'm gonna drop a bomb. You know, there's
Okay.
a lot of kids in Dubai who are spoiled brats.
I think a lot of the kids now, but us kids growing up, like the millennials, we didn't have that glitz and glamour life growing up.
Sorry, it depends.
Totally depends. Totally.
Yeah. Like, I have a couple of friends who are Dubai kids who were...
Like, food was served to them on a silver platter.
Not really food was served to them, but they grew up with this sense of, this is Dubai, we have everything we need and more, you know, the excess lifestyle, the luxurious lifestyle. But that wasn't ours. That wasn't ours at all.
100% not mine.
You know, my parents, my dad was working 2 jobs, sometimes even 3.
Oh, wow.
Just to get us going, because my mom decided to become a housewife when my younger brother was born. You know, so that she can focus on us, on our studies. And so my dad had to, you know, work extra hours. So he would have his 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 in Dubai job. And then he would come home, eat dinner, dress up, and then leave the house for his side hustle, which was, he continued being a drummer in a band, in an Arabic band in a Lebanese restaurant. So he would leave around 8 p.m. or so.
So you barely saw your dad during that time?
Yeah.
That's crazy,
we would
though.
only see him, like, during the week. We would see him when he comes in and he eats, and then he starts getting ready, and then he leaves the house. And then during the weekend, he would go to like Queen or some emirate for him to do his side hustle again. So that was his 3rd side hustle. So literally, growing up, I saw how hard my dad worked his ass off.
That is...
You know? Yeah.
That is actually a very good story.
And my mom as well. Like, she, even if she was a housewife, she did her own hustle as well.
Oh, you don't have to tell me about
all of the hustle that she could take in, she would.
So every Filipino housewife is not really a housewife.
That's
she will
true.
do something online.
Yes.
Or she will try to like bake.
Yeah, or cook something.
A cheesecake or something and sell it like a full tray. Someone picks it up.
Yeah.
So she was still doing her part while taking care of the kids. And super resilient people.
Yeah.
Especially the expats of UAE, the ones who were here since then.
Yeah.
Wow. Hats off to you guys.
My parents are superheroes. Like, our parents are superheroes.
100%.
Like, you know, raising 3 kids in Dubai. My dad working 2 to 3 jobs. My mom a housewife. And with all of her side hustles, she was a businesswoman. Like, I learned so much from this woman. Like, it's crazy. So I guess both of us still have that, you know, sense of how we were back then. And those roots will never leave us, I guess. It gave us a sense of a humbling, how do I say it? Like, a humbling opportunity for us to always look back on how it was back then.
Exactly. Like, you should never forget your roots. Understand the value of hard work, money especially, because these guys would have a family here and their family back in their respective countries.
Yeah, that's so true.
So
my mom would always send money back home, and my dad as well to Lebanon. And it's crazy how they're raising kids, but then they're also sending money to, you know, their parents and their families back home.
Exactly. So like for us, what happened is my parents would put us to school and everything. Then we would go to Philippines for a vacation, and we already have a house there. I'm like, where did this come from? Mom was like, no, I was like sending in back money.
Yeah.
Paying some construction workers and building a house. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
So it's really remarkable how they've...
Yeah, for them to actually own a house in the Philippines, a land and a house.
Oh, it's a big deal, guys. You think Filipinos are buying all the latest iPhones and everything? No, check out our places back home.
That's true.
Especially the people from the province.
Yeah.
Yo, they have majestic homes.
Yeah.
Majestic homes.
That's crazy. And now I'm thinking about it because I remember my mom and my dad, they started building our house, the house that we currently have in the Philippines, when they were, I don't know, 25, I would say 26, 27. Just before their 30s or early 30s. And I'm here turning 29 soon. And I'm like, I don't have a house yet. I don't have anything.
No, that's it. No, it's very true for us because we're in Dubai.
Yeah.
Everything is advertised like a glitz and glamour life, and we also do tend to get drawn into that. We get caught up in that lifestyle.
Yeah.
But our parents, when they were our age, they were putting a kid through school.
Yeah.
They already had enough money for their big wedding.
True.
Especially like my parents. My parents
Yeah.
got married in India.
No way.
Yeah.
Not in the Philippines.
No.
Okay.
So it was really
Wow.
cool.
Do you think that must have cost them a little bit more than having the wedding in the Philippines? Did they have a lot of guests? Because, Indian weddings.
No, so they're not. It wasn't Hindu. It was a Catholic wedding. So it's
Okay,
like a standard
okay.
church wedding.
Okay.
My mom's brother came.
Okay. From the Philippines.
I can't remember where he was because at one point my whole family was in Dubai. So I don't know where he came from. Maybe from Philippines but it was really grand. Everyone was there, like my whole family, and we could see like pictures, and it was really beautiful.
You have printed pictures of.
Yeah, we
nice.
do. All over our walls.
Oh, that's nice. Home. Yeah.
You can see the transformation of my parents from happy to depressed.
And that was when you were born, I guess.
Yeah, when I was born, that's when changed.
It all went downhill.
Yeah, that's when everything changed for my parents, and they're like, "What have we done? Why are we?"
Everybody hates Josh.
Seriously, I think I am the black sheep of the family, but
And then your brother was born. They're like, "Oh, life is good.
Peace restored." Order has been restored in the Dias household.
After what, 3-4 years?
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years, yeah. 4 years of, I was gonna say hell, but that's a little bit too much.
No, it sounds
4
about
years
right.
of sadness, and then suddenly your brother came into life, and they're like,
Oh, okay.
This is life.
Yeah, he restored the balance.
Yeah. You restored the happiness back to your parents' lives.
I'm like, hi guys, I'm still here. Like, who are you?
Why are you eating our food?
I only cooked for 4. That's the reason why I had to read how to operate a rice cooker.
Yeah.
Because I had to start cooking for myself.
Half of it.
Half of it.
Because you only had to feed yourself.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. My mom would cook for 4 people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where's my plate? She's like,
Who
go back
are
into
you?
the room, scum.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a fun childhood.
Why is there light?
Do you have like the smallest room ever underneath the stairs, just like Harry Potter?
No, I had a bunk bed.
Ew.
Yeah, and it was grand.
Nice.
Like,
were you on the top or the bottom?
I was always the bottom.
I was the top.
Because I was really, really obese growing up, guys, and I had a fear that whenever
Come on, not obese. I've seen your.
No, you haven't seen.
Okay, fine.
And I was so scared of going up to the top, and I was terrified that it will break and crush my brother. And obviously, he's the one who brought balance into the Dias household. So if I killed him, I don't know what my parents would do to me.
Your parents would kill you as well.
I'm already dead to them. Now they're just gonna physically kill me.
Double dead.
Yeah. Like, we had 2 funerals for you, Josh.
People won't get our humor, by the way. They'll be like, wow, this duo is dark.
We already have people switching off.
Yeah, they already switched up. We lost them.
We lost them. But I have a really funny story about when my mom came to Dubai.
Yeah.
So this is the first time my mom's ever taking a plane as well. She's going back to She's going to Dubai. She just got a job.
Okay.
Dubai duty free.
Yeah.
The salary there then was like 1,000 dirhams.
Whoa.
But to her it was like I just hit the lottery.
Yeah. But I think back then it was big.
1,000 dirhams would have been equivalent to like 3,000, 4,000.
Probably, even more maybe.
And free accommodation.
Yeah.
And all this.
Ooh.
So she got a package deal.
Okay.
And so my mom's biggest worry that when she comes to the Middle East, she won't have patis. And for those of you non-Filipino listeners, patis is fish sauce.
Yeah.
And it's
a
like
salty fish sauce.
Yeah, and it's a condiment with... You can have it with almost anything.
Yeah, patis is life, guys. Like,
it is life, but it's also death.
That's true.
Because you will develop kidney problems.
That's true. Kidney stones. Because it's super salty, but we use it for everything. We use it like with sinigang, with bulalo, with rice, and whatever that you can eat with a salty condiment, you use patis.
Exactly. Like, pass the salt away and then just get the patis, pour it over whatever you're having, or get it on a small bowl, dip your spoon into it, and then yeah. So that's my mom's biggest concern. Yeah. So what she did was she packed like 6-7 patis bottles in her suitcase. She did not leave any room for like clothes or anything. Maybe she bought like a few articles of clothing, but most of her suitcase was patis. It was wrapped around by our lolo at that time, so he took care of it. These are glass bottles.
Oh wow!
And then she's like, "Okay, so this will keep me going for another few months, if not years."
Yeah, I was gonna say years.
Yeah, for sure. And so she came to Dubai. Her accommodation was in Deira.
Okay.
That's where my parents met. So my dad was the one who received like 4 of them from the airport.
Oh,
so that's when they
okay.
first actually met.
So your dad picked your mom up from the airport the first moment she landed in Dubai.
Yeah.
And the guy who picked her up was her future husband.
Exactly.
How romantic.
It's not romantic.
It is.
It's like a taxi. It's like a romantic taxi story.
It really is romantic, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you think of it that way.
If you think of it, yeah, like how everything fell into place.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. So my mom is stationed in Deira.
Yeah.
And she showed me where her old building was. And there's a grocery. So she settled up. And then she's like, let me go check the grocery store, what I can do. She goes down in the grocery and there was full patis everywhere. And my mom's like, okay.
I could have used the space for something else.
I swear my mom left so many things back home.
Like chicharron or something.
I'm sure they had it there as well. But like, yeah.
No, back then, I don't think they would have chicharron, to be honest.
Back then, they didn't even have tender, juicy hot dogs.
Yeah, they wouldn't have a lot of Filipino food. I remember, like, whenever we would go back home to the Philippines when I was young, we would come back with suitcase filled with, like, Filipino food, where, when you think about it now, like, I have West Zone right underneath my building. And for those who are listening who
are stalkers.
Yeah. There's a lot of West Zones in Dubai. But West Zone is a grocery store, and they have a lot of, like, they have a good Asian section. And a lot of Filipino food. So now you can just go to a West Zone supermarket and get yourself, I don't know, a chicharon or a pancit canton. Because I remember when we were young, we would fill our suitcases with pancit canton because my brother was so
the Lucky Me pancit canton.
The green flavored calamansi flavored one, and the yellow one, the original one, and everything like bagoong, green mangoes, dried mangoes, banana chips, and all of. Like these Filipino food, you can get it very easily now.
Exactly. So whenever I go to Philippines, all my colleagues want one thing: dried mangoes.
Okay.
And
the Cebuana one.
Yeah, and then I don't even buy it, and I come back here. I go to the West Zone, buy it, and give it to them. Like, oh, thank you. So,
but you're gonna pay more though if you buy it here. I think.
But at least I can bring back something else for myself.
That's true.
And I always travel light. Shout out to Cebu Pacific.
Yeah, because if you traveled heavy with Cebu Pacific, you would have to pay extra.
Exactly. Setback, they say. Setback. I'm a setbacker.
You're a setback.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
My airline of choice.
Yeah, no. I'm a little bit of a snob with Philippine and Cebu Pacific Airlines. I don't want to say I exclusively travel with Emirates because that sounds so snotty, but I love traveling with Emirates.
Don't forget your roots, Janine. Okay. We just spoke about it and like, guys, I only fly Emirates.
Yeah, I try to only fly with Emirates. Also because I have this loyalty, how do you say, I accumulate points with them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I just love their service. So.
I love it, but I would rather spend the extra money in Philippines rather than.
True.
So I would rather risk my life and fly Cebu Pacific.
Come on, Cebu Pacific, it's good as well. It's just that it's too small and you feel so cramped when you're in.
Oh, it's so small. And you know the in-flight entertainment, guys. Once I was sleeping on my flight, and
they have in-flight entertainment?
I'll tell you what it is. Okay. So everyone and you can smell food. One family beside me has a KFC bucket. Like, where did you get
KFC?
And there was no plates. You're just eating the bone. And putting the bone back in the bucket and getting the next chicken after that.
It must be soggy chicken.
100%.
I'm sure it wouldn't be like crispy fried chicken by like middle of the flight.
There's no KFC in the back of the flight, like a window where they can buy it. So they obviously bought it from, because the airport KFC is very expensive. So I'm pretty sure.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Even the McDonald's?
Yeah.
So much more expensive in the airport.
Wait, what? I never realized that. Because I don't...
How much do you pay for a Big Mac?
I don't know. Because it's not like I eat at McDonald's every single day.
Okay,
I would say, what, 18? Big Mac is 18, probably.
Just the sandwich? Maybe it'll set you back like...
15, maybe?
Yeah, 15. But in the airport, it'll be like double that.
No way.
So to really economize, you have to buy it from outside the airport.
But are you allowed to bring food in?
Yeah,
like when they scan it in and they're like, oh, there's food. It's fine, right?
100%.
Okay.
I brought food in.
As long as there's no water, I guess.
Yeah. So when I was in the plane, I just could smell the KFC coming. I'm like, I really want one. But of course I
Wait,
controlled myself.
Did you ask the family? Like, say, sorry, you have a really big bucket, and I've
Your
counted.
family of 3?
Yeah, you're only a family of 3.
The size of your bucket is for 21, I'm assuming?
So would you mind if you can just like give me one? I can pay for it if...
No, I'm not gonna pay.
Oh wow, so you're just gonna ask.
I'm just gonna ask.
You're just gonna beg for it.
Not beg, I would ask them politely. Like,
Okay.
hi, where are you guys flying to? Oh,
Yeah.
is that KFC? You know, I have a crazy story about KFC. It's crazy because you're gonna give me a piece right now. I'm gonna tell everyone about this. No, okay, so then...
And that was the story of how they let you off a flight from Cebu Pacific.
That's how they gave me a parachute and kicked me off mid-flight.
So you're in-flight entertainment.
Okay, so that was part of it. I'm like, okay, this is a family behind me eating KFC. And then I was like, okay, let me try to fall asleep, and I fell asleep, and I was waken up by lights and someone on the PA system.
Okay.
And it's the Philippine the
Cabin
crew, and like, hi guys, are you ready to play a game? And this is like
Play
everyone's
a
asleep,
game.
and everyone's like, what is going on? This better be turbulence, otherwise let us go back to sleep.
Yeah.
And she's like, we have a few giveaways to give everyone. So the first game is wins this blanket.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, side note.
They make a game for you to win a blanket.
Exactly.
The blankets are not given away for free.
No, so that's the thing. I'll tell you another thing about Cebu Pacific. They crank down the AC so cold. If it's your first time in Cebu, Janina's having a stroke, I think.
I can't believe they don't give away the blankets for free.
No. What is this? It's not Emirates. So you literally it's just a seat and a seat belt, not even the pillow.
I'm about to snort. Guys, when I laugh so hard, I snort, so I'm trying my best not to.
She'll manage. She'll be okay. Whenever
Okay,
you're ready.
sorry. I'm good.
Okay, just side note from where I cut off, but Cebu Pacific is very smart because they do crank down the AC.
They do
it's
that?
freezing. And the only option is if you don't have your... I always travel in shorts, so my first time I had like, I'll have to buy a blanket. And it's a Cebu Pacific plain blanket with there's like a cartoon, and I'm just like cozied up in it. So what they do is they're very smart. So they crank down the AC, so people have to buy the blanket, and it's like $50. So that's how they make their money from all these add-ons. So
smart.
So let's say I'm flying entertainment, and then she's like, first prize, guys, today is the blanket, and all these titas looking up.
Because it's a hot commodity.
I need that Cebu Pacific blanket. And the first game, I'm not kidding. Who can show me the first selfie with the plane? They took it, like, whoever's taking a selfie in the plane or with the plane, and 5 titas started fight at the back. Me. Then, like, I don't know, like, there was a riot at the back. These 5 titas rushed to the stewardess, throwing their phones in her face. Like, I have the first selfie. But it's so funny. And the other games were like, who sings this song? And then they play some Enrique Iglesias song.
Okay.
And you have to raise your hand because this time, like, those titas really got out of hand. So
they
like,
started unbuckling their seatbelt and they're like, me!
Like, even the pilot had to come out. Like, ladies, relax.
He had to park the plane, put it in autopilot mode. Hold on.
We haven't even flown yet. So I don't know where we're going. But from there, they made it very strict. The first person who raises their hand will get the gift and stuff. So I tried to win. I'm not going to deny that. I tried to win that blanket because I was really freezing.
Wait, so you had a selfie with the plane as well? Please say no.
I had a selfie in the chair because I had to send it to my mom. Like, Mom, I'm already in the plane.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll believe that. We'll believe it, guys.
It is true. I will send you the picture.
Okay, sure.
And it's like there's a kid
we'll post it on our Instagram page, guys. This is the picture we were talking about exactly.
And you guys will only know the context if you listen to this podcast. Yeah, but that was such a big sidetrack. Where were we? I don't even know.
Cebu Pacific better pay us for plugging them so much with it.
We can tweet at them.
Exactly.
Tell them we mentioned them on our podcast. Give us free tickets.
Yeah. I'll pass.
I'll take it. Free? Did someone say free? Okay, so a part of this segment, part of the show, we have a segment where we give out advice, and we've titled the segment Handy Advice. So if you guys noticed and paid close attention to our name, you would have noticed that Have a Nice Day shortens down as an acronym to HAND. So this segment we decided to call Handy Advice, where Janine and I would give advice to our listeners. You can even send us a question, but as of now, we don't have any questions.
That's how we wanted it to go, actually. Wherein our listeners, friends, family, whoever would like to send. I'm sure it's going to be friends for a while until we actually gather
Exactly.
some listeners. But we would love for you to send us your questions or anything that you would like advice. Again, we are not qualified to
Zero
give
qualification, guys, but we will do our best.
We will do our best and we'll make you laugh.
Exactly.
We'll make sure that you have half a nice day. You have a nice day.
You will have a half a nice day.
No, we want them to have a good day, not just half. They will have a nice day. There you go.
A half full day.
There you go. A half full day. So what is our handy advice for this episode?
Should I say it? Or...
Yeah.
Okay,
I think it's both. We both have the same advice because, we started this podcast, as Joshua said earlier. We started thinking about it and talking about it a month ago, a couple of weeks ago.
And here we are today recording our first episode. And it is really something that we both wanted even before we met each other.
Yeah, that's true.
And we thought, okay, why keep on delaying it until now? We just brought it up, and over the course of these last 4 weeks, we've been planning it. We've been pushing out creatives for it, and we've gotten to this point where we're actually recording. And I think our advice to everyone is stop wasting time.
Just YOLO. You only live once. I hate that. I hate that.
I have it tattooed on me, by the way.
Stop.
No, I don't.
You don't.
I have so many tattoos, Janine doesn't even know what I have anymore.
Imagine you have YOLO tattooed on you.
She's actually looking at my arms right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm like, is there a YOLO in there? But I guess just do it. Just say yes to whatever your passion project is, to whatever you've been thinking about for so long and you've been pushing it to the side because you might be busy with work, you might be busy with going to school, studying. You'll always have an excuse for something.
You always have something else to do. And if you just don't deep dive into it, then you're never going to do it. And I know we're in a pandemic right now. World isn't what it was as like compared to before, but I was really thankful for having this much of free time during the coronavirus. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot of things. I learned how to cook. I've been cooking a lot. That's one. I've been reading a lot more. But I think if you really have something that you really want to push for, maybe take that dance class. Maybe it's learning that song on the guitar.
Yeah, start with small things. You don't have to go big. Like this podcast is a little bit of an ambitious task, I would say. But we just went with it, I have my setup from my Hello Mamster Show podcast, so shout out to them.
Beautiful people, by the way.
They're the best, seriously. They're the ones who actually pushed us to start our podcast, because I've been speaking to them with Kuya Epi most of the time about me wanting to start my own podcast. And, he kept on telling me, Janine, just do it. Just do it. I'll be here to support. And even the other guys, Tito Daryl, Tito Luis, Tito Mark, they all started telling us that it's just do it. Just start. You always have excuses to tell yourself. You always have these self-limiting beliefs of, oh, I don't have the proper setup. Oh, I don't have proper dance studio, or I don't have my perfect camera, which I want to carry for my street photography or portrait photography. I don't have the proper lens. And you always have a reason to tell yourself that I don't have this or I don't have that. But you can start with whatever you have. If you want to be a photographer, start with your iPhone. If you don't have an iPhone or your Samsung, whatever, start with whatever you have. And soon enough, you'll be able to build up from there. But if you don't start right now, nothing will happen.
It's really, at the end of the day, baby steps.
Yeah.
Like even when I had this podcast idea for a very long time, and we actually started, me and my best friend, we started it, and our setup was, it was our earphones connected to my phone while driving. So there's a lot of background noise, a lot of distractions because of traffic and trucks and everything, but we still managed to record a really, really funny episode.
Yeah. I heard that episode, and that was the moment I told myself, you know what, Josh can be a good co-host to my to my podcast dreams.
I literally had to audition for Janine.
Yeah, he did. That was his audition tape, guys, and it went through.
It went through.
Yeah, pick you.
But just to sum up whatever we said, guys, there's never gonna be a perfect time to start something. Just put on your big boy pants or big girl pants.
Thank you for being inclusive.
Yes, I love everyone, all shapes, all forms, all genders. And just go for it, guys. You can also let us know what you plan on starting. We can maybe help you find the someone to connect you with.
Yeah.
Who's also in that same
and we will
industry.
hold you accountable for it.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, send us, I want to be a blank, whatever. And, we'll start checking you in and asking you on a weekly basis how you guys are doing.
Exactly, I like that.
We'll have an accountability group. Mm-hmm. There you go.
A WhatsApp group?
We can have a WhatsApp group or a Facebook group, whatever group that is. But we'll be here for them.
Yeah, and
if in case someone would, please, just one person.
Just one person.
Just one person.
We'll try our best, basically.
Yeah.
We like to see people grow. That's what we're all about.
So, guys, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. We're so happy that we're able to put out an episode.
Mm-hmm.
We've tried a couple of run-throughs last week. We've tried a couple of opening episodes this afternoon, and they weren't as successful, but here we are. It
was off to a bumpy start, but I'm really glad, and we're
full podcast episode. We've done well. High five to that. So thank you so much for listening to us, guys, and thank you if you're still listening up until now. We just want to say, if you have anything to send us, send your questions, send whatever you want to send us under the sun, your review, your comments for this podcast, to our email, halfanicedayshow@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Instagram at halfanicedaypodcast. We'll start putting out a Facebook page soon as well, but that's what we have for now.
Yeah.
And listen to the next few episodes that will roll out in Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcasts from. I think that's how it goes, right? Guys, we'll make sure that we get that right the next time around,
Yeah, forgive us.
Yeah, forgive us. It's our first episode and we're not really pro podcasters, but we're gonna get the hang of it. So
yeah, and I like it. It's a start. It did take us a while to get this episode going, but yeah, just baby steps, and here we are today. Just dive into the deep end of the pool, guys, and learn how to stay alive.
Yeah. Learn to swim, guys. We'll swim with you.
Yeah, we'll swim with them.
And on that note, everyone, have a nice day. Oh, you didn't sing. That's good.
Have a nice day.